Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Hello, Walnut. It is me, Laz, here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday. I am laughing because today has been so incredibly hard to do stuff because things just keep going wrong. Shall I tell you the list of things? No, I don't want to continue on, but basically all of the things that I wanted to do and achieve have not happened, and the main one has been to record to talk to you. I'm a little bit dressed like a goober because my intention today was to wake up leisurely, put on a face. I wanted to film a little bit of content and I wanted to record this podcast episode. So I'm getting there, Walnut, but hence the hat, hence the things, because I wanted to sort of like do like cowboyish for chasing the wild sort of vibe. And I've done a couple micro walnuttings and they all kind of like blend into one. The theme of my micro walnuttings today in particular, but just for the week, are about just being cringe and doing it anyway. The example I'm going to share, I've got two walnut where it is a walnutting. I call it a micro walnutting, but it is a walnutting nonetheless, where I feel so. How do I get into this without a big story time? Basically, in my condition, there are all the societal things that come along with pregnancy and la la la. One of them being a baby shower. And I have just been fighting with all of my might to not. I have this strange ego thing that I'm working through, and I'm still in therapy. I have a lot to work on personally, outside of Walnut Wednesday, just with myself and my ego and my feelings on all of the things. But basically, I don't want to be another person that does another. You know me, Walnut. I don't like being like everyone else. I don't like being like the trends. I don't like, and I say that with a grain of salt because then I also do the things that are up with the trends. I try to follow that. So anyway, it's just a me thing. It's not an us thing. It's not a setting example thing. It's a me thing that I'm actively working through. And it's specifically coming up in this journey of my condition and what my lead up to human motherhood is going to be like and my identity, and it comes entangled with all of these things. But my micro walnutting is from the baby shower thing where I fought with all my might that I didn't want any of that stuff. I don't want any of those things. I don't want to social media kais my social words. My little vampire when it's born. I don't want to, I'm happy to talk about my journey and my condition, but just like when I have situations that involve other people that are not me, on Walnut Wednesday, I prefer to keep it out. Like this is a space, my social media, Walnut Wednesday is a space of my journey, not the involvement of other things. So while the condition is a part of my journey, the result of it, which will eventually be my little vampire, is not, right? So anyway, I digress, but I've just been fighting that I don't want all of the things I don't want to do. I don't want the games. I don't want a thing. So I had like just pushed and pushed against the grain. I was like, no, I would rather just have a barbecue and just everyone can bring drinks and I'll just chill. But then in the same breath, I'm like, but look, I do love eating yummy treats and I do love getting dressed up with my girls and I do actually like that stuff at the same time. So when Sissy Walnut was like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I kept saying all of these things that I wanted. And keep contradicting each other. Like I still contradict myself now because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be another person that just like wants a baby shower or doesn't want a baby shower or so the walnutting has come into it where My sister mentioned that she was getting a couple of questions from the girls and blah blah blah. And I don't want to fuss, I don't want to thing, but I set myself a couple of conditions that where I feel happy with the result. But what I ended up doing was I took charge of the creating event um and writing like the little blurb of what I want, because I also, Walnut, don't want Geordie and I are like the last of our friend group to go through this, more or less, like we're one of the last. And um, so we have been told that we can have a lot of stuff and hand-me-down stuff. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like Christmas where you kind of just don't want stuff that you don't need. I don't know if this is like a 30s thing or like, but I'm quite specific about my house. I'm already a cluttery girl. I've already got a lot of clutter in my house that I have to get rid of. I don't want like any more. And so I kind of like had to walnut by saying like, hey, no pressure to buy presents, but I know that you're gonna buy presents, so here's what I want. Like, which is so awkward and so uncomfortable. But I think I did articulate myself kind of well. And if you're my friend and you got the invite and you read it, I would love to let me know what you thought of it, because that was a qualm in itself. And I rewrote it 5 million, 100 times, and I drafted it and I edited it and I asked advice on it and all of the things, because how do you how do you say no, please, no fuss. I don't no gifts, but if you do get a gift, this is what will be helpful. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like um tagging on to the conversation that we've had with like Kate a few times about asking for what you need. Okay, the camera cut out. I lost my train of thought. Here we are. I had to walnut by asking for what I need, or specifically saying what would be helpful in the context um of the event. And I feel like I handled it quite well. But yeah, like I say, if you're my friend and you got the invitation, I would love to know your feedback on the thing. And then also walnut in another little micro walnut, like, because I feel like that's cringe. I feel like it's like arrogant and cocky to say that. I don't know, like, it's just a discussion that you don't really like. How do you say, I know that you're very likely gonna get me a gift, which you don't have to, but I know it's gonna happen. So if I know it's gonna happen, I may as well just specify what I actually need, rather than receiving something and then I'm like, oh no, and then I have anxiety that I'm not going to use it, or that it's not, do you know, it's just pressure. And it's just pressure to like think that, I'll open them in front of people and all of the thing, and then all of the different people in one room at once, and it's a lot. And that's kind of why I didn't want to do this this thing as much as I love to attend these things. So anyway, it's this whole weird thing. But that was my micro walnutting, is sort of just biting the bullet and being cringe and being like, I'm just going to be brave here and just say what I actually want. And sometimes, walnut, that's like the hardest thing to actually do, is just to say what you actually need or want, right? And yeah, on those topics of sort of like walnutting. And on that, I created a little bit of content earlier today where I tried to do like those um, voiceover vlog type videos, because I got feedback that people like to watch those and blah blah blah. So I thought, oh wow, I've got some content from when I was down at the bookshop. Let's give it a go. And oh my goodness, Walnut, it feels so cringy to me. And the reason why I think it feels so cringy to me is because vlogging and stuff is great, but it's really staged. I was sort of imagining when I went to do my little voiceovers, I used clips that I already kind of had, kind of like sharing. They're kind of like on my story sort of clips, that I already had on my phone, and then talked over the top of them. But I was imagining, actual vloggers who are like get ready with me and having to set up like the tripod and the things to do, just things like make your bed and brush your teeth. And I was just thinking how much effort that really takes, and how that's not actually real life because you've quickly just set up your tripod. And I know there are lots of like really funny funny videos making fun of things like that, where it's like you press record and then you run to go make your bed, and then you cut that piece out so it looks like you're just making your bed. And yeah, I was just, it kind of just reminded me of that walnut, where I was like, I felt it made me feel cringe because it felt so forced, if that kind of makes, but me voicing over felt forced, and that's not a really good energy for me to create stuff in. But again, biting the bullet, giving it a go, and feeling out with what works, and posting the damn stupid video or the post about what I need, even though I feel cringe and even though I feel uncomfortable, and just doing it anyway. So they're two like quite different scenarios, but I feel like with the same message of um just doing it anyway. It's like be cringe and embrace it. Because yeah, I know I've talked about this a few times, Walnut, but like I feel like we as people, and this is not, I'm not individually saying like you or me, but we're so quick to make fun of people on the internet and things like that and go, oh, okay. But you don't actually stop to think about how much work actually goes into doing those things. Like if you're an active, even as an example, an active person that posts on their story all the time, how much time does that take out of your day to post a picture of your delicious coffee and put a caption and be like, out for delicious coffee, tag the cafe and blah. Like I know they're only like fleeting seconds, but that, imagine that when you're making your bed and doing voiceovers and doing the things. And yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of tangenting on a few different topics here, Walnut. I think because I've had such a razzle dazzle frantic day, and I'm really displeased that I've finally been able to come in with my little hat on. Oh God, and film some of the things that I wanted to do. Walnut, and now my camera battery ran out. I had a bird in the house, so I had to clean up all this bird poo everywhere. It's just been a day. But I have done micro walnuttings and I have been cringe. I'm still sitting here with my little hat on, like it's kind of bold for wearing a hat and being in a hat and doing the thing. So I was like, I'm just going to do my recording with the hat on anyway. Um, Again, feeling feeling awkward, uncomfortable, and feeling a bit cringe, but so what? And just doing it anyway. That's the moral of the story, Walnut. I hope there's a couple of tidbits in here. As you can tell, my brain's really in a strange funk from today, but I'm really, really proud of myself that not only have I walnutted in a couple of capacities, I've done the baby shower post, I've asked for what I want, even though it's uncomfortable, awkward, and strange. I've tried something new, I've been brave, I've done a little voiceover thing despite it feeling uh, yeah, I want to say cringe, but also it's uncomfortable, it's new, it's weird, but I've gone ahead and I posted it anyway. Um, so may this just be your invitation, Walnut, to try something new, even if it feels embarrassing or cringe or uncomfortable, to just give it a go and see what happens, and have that sort of mindset of like we kind of talked about last week of like anything could happen, but like anything could happen. And giving it a go, and then checking in with yourself and seeing how you feel afterwards. Because now that I have, I'm like, cool, man. What's next? I'm proud. This is good. And now I can do it again next time, sort of thing. Um, so just paving those little stepping stones. But moral of the story, be cringe. Post it anyway. Do it anyway. And see what happens. Um, I just apologize for this waffly rambly episode. And I feel like I'm not performing at my best. But your feedback always welcome. Join the walnut tree. We can have further conversation. But yeah, can you let me know if this episode makes any sense, Walnut? I would love to hear from you. I'm just, gee. Anyway, have a happy Walnut Wednesday. Be cringe. Let's be little cringe pots together. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye.